1.
And here we are with Crash Twinsanity Bingo. Joining us is Flotsam for hosting, as Charbunny has ended their hosting shift. But without further ado, Atomical Sloths, you are running Twinsanity Bingo. Take it away.
Alright. So, this is Crash Twinsanity, the 5th mainline series game. You got to see some Insane Trilogy earlier, just the remakes of the original 3. A lot of the goals here are a bit different from the other bingos you've seen. They usually involve breaking the game in ways you typically wouldn't expect. You should expect to see a lot of cool tricks. Alright, are we good to begin? I'm going to take that as a yes. So,
I would imagine so, yeah.
All
So we
right.
can just do a countdown. I think that would be great.
Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. So, there's a few goals on here that I'm going to want to try to focus on the entire time. And those are going to be getting 5 invincibilities, collecting 8 power crystals, and collecting 8 of the red gems. The first challenge I need to do here separate, though, is feed a bomb to every totem that will take one. So I need to make sure the body slam these, get them all into every single one of these totems. No glitch here specific to what I'm trying to do. There's another totem here. I also need to collect every single gem here in Jungle Bungle, which means I have to collect all 6. There are 6 gems per level.
Come on, follow me, Crash.
All the gems in this level are pretty much exactly right on the path that you're supposed to go on. I can skip this cutscene. I usually play on Xbox, but I am playing on PS2, and the skip here is a little different on Xbox. It's a lot easier. So we're just going to watch these 2 cutscenes. Learn how to play the game. If you press X twice, you'll double jump. I can try to get my first invincibility here if I'm feeling brave. You can also see the world looks a little funky. That's thanks to the incentive that you guys met, or you voted for, which was randomized world palette, which can be a little wonky. It changes the palette color per chunk, and the chunk boundaries are kind of random, and then sometimes you get a little bit of corruption, like right here, it's a little weird green. So yeah, right now I just need to feed the 4 that are here, and actually make sure I feed them all. This one's a little tricky because the bomb will explode essentially before you get it there. I can take this time on over here to jump up here and collect the 2 gems. And there's one more totem to explode, and then I will have completed one of my 25 goals. So this one here, you need to slide to be able to actually get it over the log. And then hope that it blows up in the totem's mouth. This one can be a little tricky at times. There we go. So that is all the totems that can take bombs fed. So I will mark that off. So the next goal I'm going to do is collect all the gems in this level. So essentially just beeline it straight for the end. Here we can skip a cutscene where Cortex would teach us how to body slam by jumping on the wall. And then here we have just a regular puzzle you can blow up the TNT a little faster than waiting for it, but it doesn't save a lot of time. It's pretty risky. And that is the blue gem, so that will be the final gem in this level. And that is somewhere on this bingo card. There we go. So next, I'm going to be looking to escape out of a boss arena. So at the end of this level, and kind of the story of this level is Neo Cortex, who's the villain, dresses up as Coco, and he lures Crash essentially to this arena at the top of the jungle, and then he'll try to kill you. But we can escape this by doing some funny tricks. What's my favorite song? I'm going to assume you mean Twinsanity. My favorite one is probably Classroom Chaos, the Crash version. Alright, so now we're in the boss arena. We're going to try to just body slam our way out without dying here. Get out that way. Here we are outside the boss arena. And if we were to continue, the game would crash. So we are going to quit and then start a new fresh file here. While I look for that goal on the sheet. There we are. Slipslide Ice Capades is a very good song as well. This time, I will actually make a save file. That way so I can load back to it should something go wrong. So typically with this puzzle, you'd explode the chickens into the nitros, but I'm not going to do that because you can just skip it in a lot of different ways. But I need to focus on getting red gems, so I have two so far, the one from Jungle Bungle and the one from the Hub World. I also need to try to get invincibilities, which luckily there's a fairly easy one here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this nut to skip this entire gap. So this is a fun little trick. If you put an object on the boundary between chunks and jump on it, you'll just teleport. So I can just skip over that entire gap there. That's our first invincibility of the run. I'm not sure what my favorite song would be that includes lyrics. Oh, and right there you just saw I hit a wall. And that wall is because I moved too quickly through that area. Okay, there's a cutscene that's supposed to play here. There it is. Alright, so the next thing we're going to try to do is get backwards into Cavern Catastrophe. One thing we did with the bingos is remove needing to do hover skip, which allows you to skip that boss fight that I started. And we don't do that because that skip is really inconsistent. And essentially whenever we do races for bingo, it would just be whoever got that first. Alright, we missed the crates. So one trick you're going to see a lot in this run is called a slide jump, or a long jump. And the way you do that is you need to slide jump first, and then your next jump when you walk off a ledge will have extended distance. In order to get backwards into Cavern Catastrophe, I actually need to set one up on those bouncy crates, or the metal crates in there. And what I'm trying to do here at the beginning is I'm trying to get the ice physics of the rock to launch me onto those crates there. I need to set a slide jump before I try to do this. This jump is just a little awkward because... yeah. It's just awkward because you can't move the camera the right way. $5 if I karaoke the current song. Let me know which one you want me to karaoke here. This one? Alright, I'll do it when I come back out of the level. I want to make sure you get your $5 worth. If I get in immediately, then there's no fun in that.
One thing I do want to say, we've already talked a little bit about how good the soundtrack is. This is easily, I think it's my second favorite video game soundtrack of all time. This soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah, and the soundtrack is also completely a cappella, which means it's made by voices.
Yeah, which is so unique. I don't know of any other video game soundtrack that is entirely a cappella like that.
I should not mess this up this time. Oh, that was actually really close. So we're actually doing this to get 2 goals.
What goals are they?
So we are looking to do the teleport into the void after the drill chase, which is part before this. Alright, I am messing this up big time. And then the other one's going to be 50 lives, because you can farm lives pretty easily there. One thing I will need to do though is if I get to 0, I'm going to need to death abuse and get more lives, because I will need at least 1 to be able to get through this next part. I need to set up another slide jump here to be able to cross this gap. And there's only one real challenging part here. I need to hit this nitro detonator and then move away before it blows up. There we go. That is the only nitro detonator in this game.
Really?
It is. They only put 1 in, and it just blows up that 1 nitro wall. There's a different type of detonator crate, which is like the red ones which you saw earlier, Jungle Bungle, but the normal crash ones, that's the only one in the entire game. Alright, so here we're gonna try to jump down here. So there's a death barrier here, except for one very small part. What I'm doing here is I want to try to get one of those well, so I don't game over. Alright. So to warp into the void, we're going to do kind of the same trick we did with the nut earlier to be able to cross that gap. Because there is a chunk link over here that is right on the boundary of these platforms, and if you just run off the ledge here, you'll just warp into the void and die. Alright. And this is probably the best glitch in the game here, which is getting infinite lives. So we're going to sit here for a little bit and wait to get 50 lives. And this could take a short amount of time, this could take a long amount of time. Also gives me time to look for the goal that I need to mark off.
So, how does standing here get us lives?
That is a good question. I don't really know. It just does.
You don't. I understand Twinsanity is a broken game, but
So, if you body slam when walking into that cutscene, after a long amount of time, you'll just start getting lives.
so if you just body slam and then walk into this cutscene, just wait here.
Yep.
Eventually, lives appear.
Yep. Lives will
This
eventually
sounds
appear.
almost as stupid as Crash 2 and 3 jumping on a trampoline for 10 minutes to get crystals.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I guess we get to enjoy the most epic of bingo content.
Yeah.
Trix is wondering if you can karaoke this song while
Yeah,
we
I can
wait.
karaoke this song. Unless there's anything you want to say, but I can just start karaokeing
Oh.
if you want.
Go for it. We'll karaoke for a minute or two. Maybe
Wait
if
for the
we
song here to
wait.
loop. This is kind of a poor track karaoke, but
Oh.
shove it up. 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 Oh, it's a little early there. Shove it up. 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 Crash. Gotta get the fun karaoke in. I'm probably gonna need to go back and grab the red gem again. Yeah, we're just gonna sit here and do nothing. Like, the lives are gonna go up. We body slammed. Now I don't have to worry about gaming over, so I can play as poorly as I want for the rest of the run. Like, it's a win-win. Alright, did I grab the red gem? I did not. Alright, I'm gonna go back for the red gem then. I think if I went back into the chunk here, I think... No, the lives don't go back up. Okay.
So you were not kidding when you said you just get lives.
Hey, just get lives. Like, we can do it again. I mean,
No,
We have all
I'm
day.
good.
there is another area in the game you can do that. That's a bit faster, but you only get one shot at it, and it's fairly inconsistent.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find out why that works. Cause that is just so weird. Do you know, do you have to like enter the level backwards like you did?
No, you
Or-
can just do it normally.
So I could literally just do that right now.
Yep. As long as you body slam as soon as you enter into the cutscene, like at the exact same time, it will eventually start giving you infinite lives.
Because that would make me speedrunning this game much easier. Because I'm not a good speedrunner of this game, and when you're not good, you game over quite a bit.
Oh, there's also a lot of hidden lives. I probably could have
Oh, yeah.
gotten to 50 without needing to do that, but I'd rather not risk it and just go for the safe strat. We just got a super slide. I don't really ever get those, so sometimes when you slide jump, you just get a really big boost forward for no seeming reason. The next goal I'm going for is killing all the villagers, so I need to remember to do that.
Poor villagers.
Right now I'm skipping this Cortex cutscene where he will talk about how the evil twins, who are the villains of the game, want to take his brain, and then he starts getting attacked by bees, and then you have to like protect him through this entire section.
My favorite part is during this chase section. You'll hear it in a second, I think. But of all the songs they choose when you're getting chased by bees, Flight of the Bumblebee.
It is Fly the Bumblebee. I'm
Very
just
appropriate.
double checking that I don't have to pick up all the gems here. Doesn't look like I need to. Second row, second column. Gosh dang it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we gotta do it again.
Would now be a good time to read off the donation?
Now would be a great time.
Yes, Fricks 155 donated the $5 that they promised. The comment. La 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 la. Yeah, I can't read singing. Yeah. There was no incentives for that donation. Even though there are a number of very good incentives, such as the offering of time randomizer, trial mandatory, with the winner in with $50 of chaos by bidding. Also, there a lot later on, there is round the clock at the King Bottom one, which I think Rob may be involved with.
No,
I
I'm
know.
not.
Well, I'm running that
But
one, so.
Yes, Sloth is.
But anyway, alternatively, there's the option for a bid war for Pokemon games. Pokemon Black, Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Red. Currently, Pokemon Crystal is like $20, with Pokemon Black having $15, and nothing else for any of the other games. So get your money in if you want to change it.
Now, I know I personally donated to Pokemon Black because I would like to see a Gen 5 game, but if you guys aren't like me, then maybe you should donate to a different game.
I believe Floha is also on Team Pokemon Black, so...
Well, Pokemon Crystal is currently in the lead, so if you want to change it.
Yeah, each of the games has their pros and cons to them. Crystal is, in my opinion, the best bingo game, but with Black, you get the added benefit of me barely having done it. So, the bingo, not the game. I know the game.
And
This
Chaos.
will be one of the first times I do Black Bingo, so...
And we do like our Chaos Hero Bingo. That's all I'm going to say.
But yeah, regardless of which game it is, it will be randomized to a fun amount of... to a fun extent. So. But we'll see where that ends up later. Right now, I'm excited watching all of these incredible skips that, to the untrained eye, look like normal gameplay. But Sloth is absolutely making it look easy.
Oh, I messed up that part like 3 times.
But like even still, even when you got correctly there's like 20 or so jumps. For example, that very last jump, where you make it look so easy, and I know from experience I've died there so many times.
Alright, I don't need to do anything here. No. Okay. So here we have a sort of tough skip here. We gotta jump on this tree and then body slam this corner. And this will let us skip this entire section where we're supposed to, like, you know, dodge the villagers. They'll look at you and then you have to, like, hide behind some reeds. And if they spot you, they'll kill you, but you can just run around the whole edge here and not get caught. They also have this weird quirk where if they're looking and you walk into their view box, they won't spot you. It's only if you're already in their view box when they start looking. Alright, so now I need to kill the villagers here. There's only 5, I think. Maybe more. So this is a puzzle you're supposed to, like, spin this across and then blow it up, but you can also just jump across the water because there's nothing stopping you from doing that. Alright, now we have to do village skip. So, you skip into the village here by jumping on these sticks in a weird way, and then jumping up kind of like that. In the speedrunning community, we call this negative time save because usually you spend more time trying to do the trick than you actually would save if you just went ahead and ran through. So that's village skip. I'm gonna watch the cutscene anyways, I have to kill the villagers here. And I also need to collect the power crystal here because I need to still do those. So, I can mark off village skip now. This is another rendition of another classical hit piece. Which hit piece it is, I do not recall, but this is definitely something.
I believe it's the Blue Danube Waltz.
Yes, that sounds about right.
I was gonna say, I don't know the name of it. I know it is a famous piece. I just don't know the name of it.
Right, that's our second invincibility round. I believe that's all the villagers as well. So typically here you'd have to, like, bring the worm around. Oh, I missed one. But I'm not going to do that. The worm takes a lot of time. I think I might miss a couple more than I thought. And I need to get the yellow gem, which I should do first. I'm gonna wait for the thing to come back around here before I jump over. So only these spikes have the hitboxes, so I can jump between spikes essentially. So yeah, now to get back to the power crystal. This is another goal that you could potentially get, but you have to get up all the way and then you'll go to the next section, but usually you need a worm to be able to actually get up there. I got just the power crystal, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip the cutscene there.
I didn't know you could get just the power crystal.
The hitboxes are really, really close. If I would have been like a little higher, I would have actually gotten the cutscene. Alright, so there's one more gem in this level, and it's in this chase. It's on top of this log here. So the villagers are upset. I just took their power crystal. Just to check, that's all I need to do here. Yes, that is all I needed. Go grab that mask. Hopefully we can get a third invincibility here. Mark the totem gems. A lot of these like nitro walls here are just to slow you down, to try to load the next area a little faster. You just witnessed probably my first time dying to that nitro wall ever. We're gonna watch this cutscene here with Farmer Ernest because it gives me a power crystal.
I love this
Crash.
cutscene.
The farmer's market is tomorrow, and my wampa trees won't grow, for my orchard is riddled with greedy worms. If you rid my land of these pests, I'll give you this power crystal.
Just shoots them.
Scientist, what do you expect?
It's hilarious. This isn't a game.
I'm an evil scientist. What do you expect? We talked about favorite songs, Sloths. What's your favorite quote from this game? Because there are some.
Oh, my favorite quote is
Oh,
probably,
man.
I've ruined the lives of so many, I can't be expected to remember them all.
That's a pretty solid one.
We'll actually
Trying
get to
to
see that
think
cutscene
of-
in this run.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, that's a big texture change.
Yeah, this is bright red. This is where we really start to see the random colors. Iceberg probably will look very different, because I imagine it's probably not going to be white. I think that's all the villagers. Yes.
Wrath of Cortex didn't do as well as we'd hoped, and that's a pretty good one too. I'm trying to think of what mine would be. There are so many good ones.
Alright, just a little bit of texture glitching out there. I can
don't
skip
worry.
this cutscene. I'm not going to, because I need to skip it every single time I cut here, and
Before
this is
you
not
rise as a cathedral
easy skip.
of diabolical genius. Scary, but in the wrong hands, this iceberg lair could do much goodness in the world. Of course, only I have the key. Absurd.
Dude, every cutscene in this game is so funny.
Follow me. I know another way.
I know another way as well, Cortex.
You know what I think my favorite line might be is the... I don't know if I can narrow it down to a single line, but the entire speech going into the mecha Bandicoot fight.
Oh, that's a good one as well.
Like the fleas in your fur, I keep coming back.
I'm gonna try to go for Bat Boost here with the one I know how to do instead of the easy one. And I just fell off the cliff. So, what I'm trying to do is walk along this 1 pixel ledge for the whole duration of the mountain. Which, now that it's bright blue, is a little harder to see where the 1 pixel ledge is. and then I need to jump from that 1 pixel ledge, essentially blind, to another 1 pixel ledge, and then walk across that one the rest of the way, and then a bat will hit me back in bounds, and that will give me my next goal.
By the way, did Quarks threaten the world with rising sea levels in that cutscene?
Possibly.
That's something to see Cortex doing.
Cortex caused global warming?
This is a very interesting game.
It's a product of its time.
A great product of its time.
Alright, so typically this wall is not just bright blue, and I can actually kind of see the part where I'm supposed to jump from. So I'm gonna try to
The
go
fact that you walked that
down there.
entire line is already impressive.
So we're gonna try to jump onto the other line here. And we missed it. Alright, I'm gonna try to get the other bat boost. I can come back to this at another time if I don't get the other bat boost. But I think the other one might be a little easier here. And if need be, this can be the last goal I end up going for. Alright, this is a much more pleasant color palette. Actually, I technically could bat boost through the wall there, which would have probably been a lot easier. No, I'll watch the penguin cutscene because I need to get the power crystals.
Yes.
And that one gives me a power crystal, so also gives me an excuse to watch the penguin cutscene.
We take those. Out of curiosity, you were talking about bat boosting. What is bat boosting?
So bat boosting is when you use one of the bats, like the ones you saw flying around that last level, to either essentially push you up higher than what you normally can jump to get on top of something, or for the bat to hit you through a wall so you can kind of just walk through it. So if I would have made it through that jump there, after the 1 pixel ledge, I would have then had a bat hit me through the ground.
The check bounced. Are you sure? Well, the past few years have kind of been slow. Wrath of Cortex didn't do as well as we'd hoped, and... Fish?
Fish? And I went the wrong direction. Well, that's the right direction, but I don't want to go the right direction. I want to go the wrong direction. Because it's faster to go the wrong way.
Do you have a quick second, Sauce?
Yes.
Alright. Well, I am going to be stepping away from my impromptu host shift, but I am leaving you all in capable hands with King's Pride taking over from me. And I will definitely say that I will be continuing to watch this epic run. So good luck, boss, with the rest of this run, but I will be...
Alright. Thank you, Rob.
Hello, hello.
Howdy.
I just just like to say thank you so much to Rob the Gamer for covering for me in my time of need. Huge shout outs. Yes, I am the King's Pride, but you can just call me Pride. And I'll be hosting for you for the next about an hour and a half here. So we got some time.
So if I was the bat boost, it would look kind of like what I just did there, but I also make it on top of the Alright, I'm not gonna try to bat boost here either. I will bat boost a different way later. So you can stand on the bats if you get hit by the bats, because you get a like brief moment of invincibility, and you can use that invincibility to try to do some fun stuff. Alright, so Cortex is supposed to raise a bunch of platforms for you here, but we can just jump across the gap and skip it. Oh. Snow's a little yellow. So here we're supposed to fight Uka Uka, but we can also just skip that because everything in this game is skippable. We can do that by positioning this N in the right direction. In the right direction, then I can jump around this invisible wall over to this lever, store a long jump onto this N, walk to the edge here, and I can just jump across the gap, and I'm surprised that worked. You know what, we take those. First try. So I have to avoid this checkpoint here, because if I grab it, the game will crash. But I can grab this checkpoint. So these ants are a little difficult to kill, they do take 2 hits, but not super duper difficult. If I body slam them, they'll die instantly, but I also run the risk of them just immediately countering me with their swords if I do that.
Dr. Cortex, what have you done?
Who are these evil upstarts? I've ruined the lives of so many. I can't be expected to remember them all.
Such a big head! Such a tiny brain!
If we deliver him to the evil twins, perhaps they will spare us.
But they'll kill me!
That's a risk I'm willing to take!
Crash, I've been like a father to you. I created you, nursed you, tried to destroy you.
So what do you say?
With my mighty intellect and your vacuous stupidity, we'll be unbeatable! Come along! To the Psychotron!
Alright, so I have to remember whether or not this will crash again if I die here, which I think it will. So we're going to re-enter this room after we unload it. I only get one shot to be able to jump back on that, or I have to essentially wait or go back through the entire last level I played. So, played that a little safe. I'll pause the game to let it load a little faster. So the reason we want to do this is because I want Cortex back. We're gonna go straight to the end of the game. What I am going to do actually is disable the autosave right now. So if something goes wrong, then I want to make sure I still have a save that's decently far ahead here. So we can throw Cortex down there, and that will let me get back to the bottom part of the lab. I want to walk all the way around here. I'm also probably the first person to do this skip in quite a few years. We have a different way of getting to the next hub early if we want to, but most people find a little easier. It's not too bad if you do ice climb though, so that's why I'm gonna do it here. This is really dark. Alright, so we're gonna have Cortex clip through the floor there. And what we want to do. Come back along here. Walk in here. I'm gonna hit this checkpoint just in case. I want to make sure that I can try this again if I mess this up. But I'm gonna walk into this cutscene, we'll watch it, and then I need to clip through Cortex at the end.
This is the Psychotron, gateway to the infinite dimensions. Beyond our universe, somewhere between the 9th and 11th dimensions, lies the mysterious 10th dimension. And there we must go in order to confront the evil twins, steal the riches, and restore the natural order of things, with me on top. We require 6 power crystals in order to make the leap, and we have 4. Let's see. That isn't enough! All is lost, unless... Come along!
Alright, so we got a little, like, swirl around there, like a little twitch, which means that we got the hard part of the trick. And when I jump through the chunk link to the 10th dimension, I should get warped to the 10th dimension. So I want to throw myself up here, jump here, and we're up. And we're to the last hub of the game now.
Soft and warm. Evil Crash! No!
Alright, so the next glitch we're going to do is we are going to collect the Wumpa at the bottom of the lab. What I'm going to do here is save the game again. If I would have not saved the game earlier, if I would have screwed up that last glitch, I would have lost my save and crashed the game. So how we're going to get down to the bottom of the lab is we're going to fall into this thing, and then we can fall down below that. And if we walk off here onto the raised part, it's just barely high enough that we don't die. And then we can explore the bottom of the lab, which they left us kindly about 10 Wumpa down here.
I swear, these PlayStation 2 platformers always have just the goofiest tricks. They always feel very similar to me. That it's like, the collision's wrong. Sorry.
it's very goofy. Some of the water down there isn't actually water.
Of course it isn't. Why would you make it real water?
You know, it looks like water. I mean, kind of looks like grape Kool-Aid with the color palette we have, but...
Yeah, very Concord grape. It's, it reminds me of, in Okami, there's a trick where you clip through the floor to enter a building from above, because all of the rooms are loaded way below the geometry, so you fall for like a minute.
My daughter,
Those
niece.
PS2 games,
We must
man.
do something. Think, Cortex, think.
I don't have any goals for this level. So, I don't have to really worry about anything. I just want to rush to the end as quick as I can. I do want to try to get the red gem, though. All the gems are essentially hidden. Oh god, I can't see. I can see it. Very good. I can't see it. All the gems are in the both side paths here. So here I want to jump over the TNT, and I missed it, and I can't go back and try the red gem again. So we're just not getting the red gem. If this was a 100% run, I would have just lost the run there and had to reset. At least this is a bingo. Doesn't matter.
I feel like I have heard "luckily this is a bingo" several times this weekend.
Bingos are more lenient. Sometimes.
Yep. If anybody is ever looking to get into like speedrunning or challenge gaming in general, bingos are a fantastic way to get into it for exactly that reason. It's a lot more lenient. You can just have fun with it. There's no... Usually, a lot of people don't run timers whenever they do them. It's just a good with some fun.
And the route isn't set in stone, so you don't have to grind the exact same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
That gives you a good variety of things.
Speaking of route, for our viewers who might have joined us midway through this run, what goals are we aiming for right now? What's our plan?
Right now, we are looking to go for getting all the gems in Bandicoot Pursuit. And I'm also looking to continue to grab masks, to grab red gems and power crystals if I can. So that my next goal is to collect all the gems in Bandicoot Pursuit.
Excellent.
Oh, 10th Dimension's looking very green today.
Now, I must say, I was a Nintendo kid, so I didn't grow up with Crash Bandicoot. What's your favorite part about this game? What brings you back to it to do bingo for it?
Me instead.
Twinsanity is just a lot of fun because it's honestly just so broken. Like, you can do pretty much whatever you want. Like, there's nothing stopping you from, like, skipping any certain part of the game. The any percent speed run is literally just the last level of the game. You just skip, and you're at hand agony, and you beat the game in, like, 10 minutes.
Oh, we'd love to hear that.
It's also probably a little bit of nostalgia as well.
Oh, for sure. If you're speedrunning and you don't have nostalgia for the game, you are a stronger person than I am.
The person who used to have the world record in this game for pretty much all of the categories, Joester98, he had never played the game before he started to learn the speedrun.
That's very interesting.
But Twinsanity has a lot to offer, so...
Yeah. That's another wonderful thing about speedrunning and this hobby in general to me is that, you know, you literally get all types. Like, people come in for all different reasons that you could possibly think of, and they do it in their own way. It's a beautiful thing.
Probably should explain what I'm doing here. This is like one of those sections that I skipped earlier, where Cortex gets chased, but this time instead of by bees and bears, it's by Evil Crash. So usually Evil Crash would just chase Cortex here, and then, you know, you have to clear the path for him to make sure it's safe. But we can skip all the triggers here, like in the first area. Wait, do I have to break these blue bulbs as well? Or is it just... No, it's just an anti-aging, okay. Most of the gems in this level are not actually in, like, the level itself. Most of the gems are actually in this little last area here before you get to the last... level of the game. So you have the 3 that were kind of on the path, and then you have 3 puzzles that you're supposed to solve here. The first one is this yellow gem here, and what you're supposed to do is there's an exclamation point all the way on the other side of the beach, and when you hit it, you can get that crate here. That doesn't actually make this work, but what you can do is jump up onto this rock and body slam, and you can get on top of that and grab the yellow gem. So kind of like that. Big old jump over. And that's one of the 3 done here.
That is just about the most PS2 trick I have ever seen in my life, I want to say.
So this puzzle, you're supposed to get the ball into the spear thing over there. This takes like 4 seconds to solve legitimately, but you can also just come over here and body slam onto this, and you can just clip through and get the gem. And then if we're feeling extra, we can also solve this puzzle anyways. Alright, there we go, we solved the puzzle anyways. And then this last one, you're supposed to get the bomb from there, and then blow up these nitros with it, but you can also just do that. And just like that, it's all the gems in this level.
Victor and Moritz's stronghold of evil. This is where we wrong the rights and sweep the past under the rug.
I'm not able to mark my goal on Bingo Sync. But we'll push on nonetheless. Oh, I'm disconnected from the server though as well.
It does help to be connected, yeah.
Try refreshing. We'll try refreshing. Oh, there we go. Alright, we're good. There's no issue here. So in this level, we're looking for pressing the big button and breaking all the blue bulbs. We're gonna kill this ant because it has a chance to crash the game. So we're gonna again look here to try to pick up just the red gem. The rest of the gems don't really matter for any of the goals we're going for. You do need to break all of these though. When you break these bulbs, it lowers the gate so you can get to the next area. Typically we can just jump over the gate, but the bingo requires us not to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, those gates don't look especially high.
They're high enough to deter most people, but if you body slam over them, you can easily get over.
It's the idea of the gate that has power.
Yes.
After all, what was just a suggestion?
So, if you watch speedruns in this game, you'll see people essentially do one of two routes. They're either going to play the game all the way through the way it's like intended to do for 100%, or they're going to beat the game first, kind of like what I'm doing here, and then they're going to go back and pick up all the gems, which that is surprisingly faster to do that. Because when you do it that way, you don't actually have to fight any of the bosses to get all the gems. But it also requires you to play absolutely perfect.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, we just got invincibility there. How many times is that for us?
That is our 4th time getting it. So if I get
just
invincibility one more time, I will be able to mark off the goal. Anti-agony is a great level. It's great when you're playing casually, and when you're in a run is absolutely terrifying.
Aren't those the best kinds of levels, though?
Oh, it is. The hardest part of the level, actually you're not going to see it for a while, but you can actually do this thing where you kind of run along the walls here instead of actually playing the level proper. I was not supposed to always say that. I have not done this trick in a while. Usually we do something a little different. But I messed it up, so backups. Alright, so here you can also skip this wall here, but we're not going to because we need to break all the blue bulbs. So we're gonna solve this puzzle. We should get invincibility up here. We still can skip this entire section, but there is a button we need to press over here, and that will give us another goal when we do. And when I collect this next mask, it will also give us another goal. So yeah, that's number 5. We will also get number 6.
I believe that's our first bingo on the board.
Is that our first bingo? Let's go! One of many. One of hopefully 12 during this run.
You know, I don't think that I've ever actually thought to count out how many possible bingos there are on a bingo board. It is 12, yeah. My brain was going 5, because, you know, there's 5 columns.
There are 5 columns.
There's also rows and diagonals, Pride.
Well, if you missed it, there was the AP Archipelago, you know, meta bingo. And that sends out checks for every time you get a bingo. So, you recognize that there's 24 checks and send 2 out per bingo. Now, if I didn't help out with that, would I know that statistic? That there's 12 bingos on a board? Probably not.
Nah, you knew the whole time, obviously.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the really hard trick where I have to jump around these pillars with a long jump. Which, falling is certain doom. Once I get to the end, I can just jump back and bounce. And I messed up the last one. The last one is the easiest one too, so the worst
Oh, it's
part.
always the easiest one, isn't it, though?
It is always the easiest one. Typically don't mess up the hard parts, but I am very well known for messing up the easy parts.
Yeah. I think at one point, game developers got wise to not put these huge beveled edges on their walls, but this was a different time.
Well, they didn't know about the fact that you can get extra momentum on your jumps if you slide jump beforehand. So when you find out a way to make your jump about 15% longer, then you end up in a situation to where you can clear a lot of gaps that they weren't expecting you to.
15% does not sound like a lot, but when you're talking jumps, it is almost always that little bit that you just need to make.
So these are our last of the blue bulbs. If we break all of these, we will have another gold done. I probably should mark off the ones I've done so far. So we activated the big button in the fight in agony. We got invincibility 5 times and we broke the bulbs. So we are seeing a good chunk of the way done at this point. I'm gonna double reset the cycle because I'm just gonna triple reset it. Here we can get another invincibility. A lot of the places you can get a mask, getting invincibility is kind of just worthless in this game. Like, there's no enemy there to use that invincibility on.
Now, I did notice that we got another one of those red crystals. How many of those have we gotten so far? How close are we to that goal?
6. And then the red gems we did get the one in this. If you weren't here at the start of the run, I did have to collect all the gems in Jungle Bungle. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. So right now I have 7 of the red gems from all this. So once I collect the next red gem, then that goal will be marked off as well. Oh, and I missed blowing up that one where Nitro is. So I'll use this spear for that. If I would have gotten the red gem when I was doing Rock Slide earlier, we would be done with it. The game is really generous, I should not have gotten that. So here there's a cutscene that has Spyro the Dragon in it. But we're just going to skip that because this is a Crash game, not a Spyro game.
Sorry, Spyro fans.
Crash gets to have 2 runs during Bingothon, and Spyro gets 0. Not even a cameo appearance for the Purple Dragon.
I mean, Spyro was in, I believe, the General Bingo earlier today. There was a segment where they pulled out Spyro the Dragon. So he did get an appearance, at least.
Consultation prize for our Purple Dragon. I forgot about generic bingo.
Didn't they also have Crash in the generic bingo?
I believe Crash Team Racing was also on the generic bingo as well, yes.
So it's 3-1.
So here, this is just the final boss. Nothing particularly special.
Now, it is interesting, because I did say earlier that I did not grow up with Crash. That was not entirely the truth, because I did have, I believe it was Mind Over Mutant on the DS. which had the redesigned versions of all the characters when Crash had tribal tattoos because it was the mid-2000s. And this, like, girl character here, I remember having a very different design in that game.
Yes. This is also, those games take place in the future, where she's a young girl in this game. She kind of a little more grown up, I believe, in those games. Not like a ton, but... Mind Over Mutant on DS is not the best of games.
Yeah, it didn't feel very emblematic of the Crash style, if I had to guess myself.
They're not like the other ones. Like, I think they have their own place, but there's something more I can do here to just always snipe this guy. Someone found a new trick to be able to just make sure this guy always gets hit no matter what when you fire. Yeah, they're not good Crash games. Like, there's no crates, there's no
Let's get out of here!
gems. Like, you get relics for just getting score. And now we get the credits.
Oh, that's adorable. I love this. The text scroll.
This is scrolling a lot faster than I remember it scrolling.
We've got to get the Micro Machines guy in to read this.
Oh, sure. You've probably read this before, actually.
Yeah.
This is about Fred Hutch and what they do and all the great things they've done.
Yep. Speaking of Fred Hutch, we are here supporting the Fred Hutch Cancer Center. Fred Hutch researchers were one of the major pioneers in the development of the bone marrow transplant, one of the most important medical advances in cancer treatment that has saved the lives of hundreds of thousands of patients around the world. Their Nobel Prize-winning bone marrow transplants have boosted survival rates from nearly 0 to 90% for certain types of leukemia. Any physician who has performed one was either trained there or trained by someone who trained there. So, big ups to Fred Hutch for all the good that they do in the world. If y'all want to help us support Bingothon, support Fred Hutch, consider donating. Just $5 is enough to buy, I believe it was 100 test tubes, and it'll also enter you automatically to win one of our snazzy Bingothon stickers.
Those Bingothon stickers are pretty nice. I do have one myself. It's definitely worth trying to get that sticker.
And also, $10 gets you the much covered Bingothon mug. If you win the prize, that is.
So the next goal we're gonna go for here is gonna be doing slip slide with them switches. So there's these switches on this next area, and they're supposed to raise ramps, but you know, we don't need the ramps. We don't need anything in this game. We can just do it all with Crash. Oh, green snow.
There, to the sea, I tell you! Our salvation floats upon the briny blue! We must reach Engine's battleship, and quickly before it sets sail! But how? Think, Cortex, think!
Sure, we can go for another skip. We can make an attempt at it. Now, I have Cortex riding on that rail. Would you guys consider that to be a train?
I feel like, by the strictest definition of a train, no. That feels more like a skateboard. Is a skateboard a train if you grind a rail?
Oh, it has wheels, doesn't it? And it's on a rail.
You know what? What is the definition of a train? I was going to say legal definition, but I don't think there's a legal definition.
You should maybe look it up.
I'm going to do that just now. Not the verb to train. Train. A series of railroad cars moved as a unit by a locomotive or integral motors. So I think it does have to have a motor to be a train.
Think of
So
think
Cortex
World
is not a
War
motor
II.
though, right? He can move his legs, kind of like a motor would move a vehicle.
I mean, I'm not the Crash lore expert here. If Cortex is legally registered as a train, I can't stop you from claiming that.
I see.
We don't also run the train. I think we have to ask for that.
CJ, I don't think this is the second time. I think it's been a long run too. That might be the 8th power crystal. That's 7. Alright, we have one more to get.
I'm gonna say again, as somebody who's not played this game, the soundtrack is fascinating. Like, it is a vibe, and a very specific one at that.
Yeah, so the soundtrack is all acapella. See if I messed up another skip. I'm sorry, Dio-chan.
Coming through! Ladies?
But yeah, this whole entire soundtrack is acapella, so
Mother?
gives it a
That is
very
a
unique
fascinating
feeling.
choice. Yeah, as a vocalist myself, an entirely a cappella like soundtrack for a video game is a massive undertaking. I give them respect for even just trying it. Much less pulling it off, honestly.
The game after this one also utilized quite a bit of acapella, which was Crash Tag Team Racing.
I see.
Probably the worst racing game they've released. It has this very unique feature where you merge with other cars, but you can also merge at any time. And it just leads to a situation where you just unmerge at the end of the race anyways, like right before you get to the finish line. Like, but when you're merged, you also get to blow everyone else up, so.
That's very interesting. Is that our final red crystal, by the way?
That should be the final red one. Let me just make sure. So we got the 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so that'll be all the red gems. And that will also be slip slide without hitting switches.
And it's yet another
I've never been
bingo.
So humiliated.
Yet another bingo. We
No
have
amount of
3
treasure can
bingos
ever
now.
begin to compensate.
Next, I am looking to destroy all life crates in the Walrus Chase. This level is probably my least favorite one in the run, because there's not a whole lot we can do to actually speed it up.
A very auto-scroller-esque level.
It is very honest. There's 2 bosses in this level, and there's a chase, which you can only go as fast as you move for the chase, so.
I see.
And a lot of these early runs are not the best in terms of design. Yeah, I just skipped the cutscene there by jumping around the trigger, but oh, I fell down. That's actually okay. I can still get back up. You essentially do this run by going to where you're supposed to be in the middle of completing it, and then going backwards, and then going straight to the end. Now, luckily, this room is not completely pitch black because it makes it very difficult to move around and tell the difference between the water and those moving spinny things. The turbines.
Yeah, having hosted for Amnesia the Bunker earlier in the day, I appreciate having less pitch black screens to stare at.
Oh. It makes the run more enjoyable when you can see where the run is going.
I feel like that tends to be true most of the time, yes.
So this is Engine, which I do have a goal for Engine now that I look over at the board. I have to make Engine hit himself 3 times with 1 attack. So the way this goes is you're supposed to dodge these missiles, and then... Alright, I'm just doing this wrong. You're supposed to dodge the missiles, and then he'll throw a TNT, and if you have it land near one of the supports, it'll break that support, and once all 3 of them break, Engine will die, essentially. But if you have him throw the TNT in the middle, he'll break all 3 at once.
Mm.
So hopefully that works. Alright, so that's all 3. If you do it this way, then you can't beat the fight, because there's nothing to damage him with anymore. So does mean I have to reset there.
Oh. We'll take the time loss for the bingo space. Gladly.
It's worth it for the bingo space. But yeah, this section is very slow.
It is very fascinating to me that the game would check for how many times he is damaged and not how many of his supports are damaged.
It is interesting that they would calculate it like that, but I've kind of stopped trying to understand this game. What the developers were trying to do with it. I don't know if you saw the first part of the run, but there was a part where I was standing still for like 6 minutes straight, and then I just started randomly gaining lives.
Fascinating.
It's a riveting gameplay people want to see.
Who are we to deny the public what they want? More Crash.
Next Bingothon, instead of 2 Crash games, 3.
Bingothon,
More Crash
the
and
Crash dimension.
We'll crash and kill Krakens. That's what we want.
Ah, yummy fresh meat for my pot.
So here I need to destroy all the life crates, which usually these are right next to ledges, or right after holes. Sometimes the rollers will break them for me, but for most of them I have to break them myself.
Come back here, naughty me.
There's a couple in this next room. This room is kind of hard to recognize, and give that one there, and there's not another one in here. I could have swore there was one more. So let's see Walrus Chase. There's not much there other than just moving through it. I think we also now have 8 crystals. Yes, we got the 8th crystal before we fought Engine. But we have 5 goals left.
We are getting there.
The rats are leaving the sinking ship.
And we're looking pretty good on time right now, right?
Tell us where the treasure
Oh,
is. And
wonderfully. We are currently at roughly an hour 24 out of our 2 hour 10 estimate.
Embryo?
Okay, yeah,
Have
this
changed.
is going great. Now this fight is also kind of a snooze fest, typically. But, he just kind of flops around, and then you have to wait for Entropy to come here. His attack doesn't even damage you, so you can just stand here and spin and jump over and over. Nothing will ever happen. So with the last 5 goals I have here, right? The damage for a bat was the one that I skipped earlier, so I can go back for that one when we get back to the lab once we finish fighting Entropy here. Yeah, Entropy T-poses when he comes in.
The aura, the absolute power of that.
Watch here. They'll come in after the 10th bounce here, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now you can see Entropy T-posing as he drops him from the sky.
Chat, I want opinions. What is the stronger pose? Is it the T pose or the A pose? I think that A pose has a pretty strong aura to itself. Just hands slightly at sides.
Come along to the Psychotron.
We're facing the wrong direction, but that is fine. So we can attempt here to do mountain skip one more time. And if not, I'm going to try to clip through the wall and start an ice climb. So, for those of you who just got here, the skip, we walk across this 1 pixel ledge here. Just gonna keep walking across this 1 pixel ledge that I can't see. Yeah, we'll give it one more shot. I didn't get very far. And we're gonna try to make the line jump at the end. I'm counting it as a bat boost. Are you not getting a boost through the wall with the bat?
I'm not the crash expert, so if it's a bat boost,
Oh.
go for it.
As the crash expert in here, I am going to say it does count. Probably a little too far here along this wall. Oh, we made it. Okay. So now we're on another 1 pixel ledge that we just blindly hop to. Now we gotta get to the end of this one without falling off. easy way to do this is just to make sure that Crash's feet, like if you see one and can't see the other, you know you're on the 1 pixel ledge. Am I close enough? No. That is a very yellow snow tunnel. Am I close enough now to make the jump? I am. Alright, so we did it. Come over here and a bat will boost us through the ground. Nice orange snow here. That is damage boost from a bat. And all we have left are 4 of the Hub 3 goals. So we are just going to go straight to Hub 3 now, which is the Academy of Evil. Going back to school. Because we beat the game already, it means we do not need to fight Amberly. Which means I also don't need to wait for the platform to raise for the yellow gem when we get to this next area. It means we can finish this a little bit sooner than if I didn't beat the game right away. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate the good luck. Oh, is there an Amberly goal on here? Oh.
Defeat Amberly without glitches.
When did I click that? Oh, when I disconnected it got marked.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so I guess we are still gonna have to fight Amberly. My bad. Alright, we're not gonna get done early. We're gonna get done on time. So yeah, we're just gonna run around and quickly collect all the gems here. Except for the red one. Where I have to beat Dingodile, Dingodile will spawn us out where the red gem is right away. So we can just collect that after beating Dingodile. The red gem is over there, you can see it in the distance. But with 5 of the 6 done, that goal is
the old alma mater.
pretty close to
As a
being
former
finished.
student myself, I'm well acquainted with the many secrets this institution holds.
So this level here is called Boiler Room Doom. It's one of the slower levels in the game. It's mainly about solving different puzzles to be able to get Cortex from one area to the next. Actually, I do not want zombie here. I just want to do this now. Actually, I do not even want to do that. Hold on. Bit of a mistake. I actually just wanted to run through this level quickly. Which we don't need to put Cortex into the pipe. I just want to take Cortex and just rush through all the rooms. Because, actually don't need... Yeah, no fart joke. Sorry. Go for
What's a
the,
bot joke?
Oh, there's a fart joke where when Cortex gets put into the pipe, he's like, "Oh, how can this get any worse?" And then he farts in the pipe.
I would make it worse.
That is very 2000s humor, yes.
Hey, at one point, he threatened to destroy the world by melting an polar ice cap. So, I think it's ahead of its time in some regards.
As we can throw Cortex into the trigger right away instead of having to roll into it with a pipe. So that just lets us skip some of these sections. Here I can also skip by doing the same thing, but this time with Crash. The game doesn't like it when we leave Cortex behind, so we'll just continuously try to attach him to me when we go through this level. So I'll be just constantly chucking Cortex away.
Gone.
There. Now, this puzzle you're supposed to throw him here and let him open the door, but you don't even need any glitches to be able to get around this. Like,
yeah, that one seems extraordinarily silly.
They could have made it a little wider or made it more of a bridge, I guess.
I mean, even just put a glass wall there so you can still see it and throw him, but you can't just hop around it?
Yeah, I mean... Oh, this game was a little rushed. We get Cortex back. I would put Cortex in the pipe, I guess. Actually, no. Well, we'll do this the fast way, I guess. Oh, no, I won't. I guess Cortex doesn't want to actually do this fast. So, we'll do this the fun way. Oh, I guess I'm going to fall to my death. Alright, I guess we will do this the fast way then. Okay, I guess I'm... So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put Cortex right here, which is the boundary between two different chunks. And if I spin him while going into the next chunk, he'll turn invisible. So he's still in the previous chunk, but at the same coordinates I am with Crash. And what this will allow me to do is I can chuck Cortex, and it will allow him to teleport directly to where I'm standing instead of some predetermined node. Like that. And then I can use him, jump off his head, and then get into a little hole in the ceiling here. I think I might have put Cortex a little bit too far to the left. I still think this is recoverable.
If y'all could see the look on my face right now at this trick, all that I have to say is, first thing that we have to talk about is parallel universes.
Alright, we're gonna have to reset that up. I was hoping I could just get it there. Back. Yeah, I was a little too far to the right. But this time we'll be a little more left, and then we're going to easily get this trick. So yeah, Cortex is in a whole nother chunk. There's a skip we used to do where we would do this and we throw Cortex into a checkpoint, and then you would instantly get warped to that checkpoint that was further ahead in the game. Okay. That time, Cortex is in a much better spot, so I just need to get the jump off of Cortex's head. We'll wait for him to stand up. Alright, so now we're on the ceiling. There we are. On the ceiling, and we need to get back in bounds. Alright, I guess we're not getting in bounds. It's been a while since I've done that trick to get in bounds. You have seen the parallel universes now. I'm just gonna do this the safer way, the way I initially was going to do it.
That's extremely fair. We did get to see some pretty cool trickage there.
Now we get to wait while Cortex goes around the pipes somewhere. This is what you're supposed to do with all the puzzles, is have them roll through it all, and then it opens up these types of little things. We can just leave Cortex behind. One really important thing you have to do in this game is you have to die here. So if you don't, you cause the game to crash later on.
But we're already playing Crash.
We're gonna
That was a
get
bad
double
one. I'm so
Crash.
sorry. It is Crash Twinsanity. Double crash is expected.
Alright, missed the platform. No, I'm just gonna take this slow and save. Now, in a 100% speed run, you essentially just do this all in one shot here. And if you mess it up, you actually aren't able to die in this level, you have to reset.
Oh.
What I can do here is I can jump and try to hit a invisible trigger there, kind of like I did with the other puzzles, and it'll let me just skip the whole puzzle. Or I will just walk off and have my jump get eaten. That also is an option. You know what? We're ahead. I will take this.
Yeah, we got
nice
plenty
and
of time.
slow. I have plenty of time. I don't need to speed through this. But yeah, Dingo Dial's in the next room, and he has probably the hardest boss fight in the game. And now we can just wait as Cortex will roll through it, roll the pipes, and eventually make his way over to the place I was trying to jump, and then a bunch of platforms will come up, and we just get to walk across them.
Excellent.
Now, all these little end switches we've seen, I can throw Cortex at, he would open up a bridge, but all of them are also just jumpable as well if you want to.
I was about to say, that looked like a very jumpable gap.
It was jumpable. I just took it a little safer than I probably needed to.
It's absolutely.
I didn't want to go through the whole puzzle room again. Alright, so beat Dingodile.
Rumor is you two
This is a vanilla task and not one that involves glitches because we just skip Dingodile in pretty much any speedrunning category. So, and where Dingodile's the hardest boss, like, why not? Why not?
Why not? There's some crazy noises this dingo crocodile is making.
Let's make some pretty interesting noises. Fortunately for him, his attacks are very predictable. You can just kind of stand on these to dodge a lot of these attacks.
I do appreciate how stanced up he is, though. That man is ready with that thing going.
Oh yeah. He's ready to burn me to a crisp if he wants. Flamethrower also has a lot of recoil for a flamethrower.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's shooting it like it's a Tommy gun. It's got the street typewriter.
There we go, Dingodile is beat. Oh, this is dark. It's like Amnesia over again, right?
Yeah. I'm getting flashbacks. That darn wizard. The exploding bottles.
I'm gonna grab that. Let's get the autosave. And now we're gonna go for that last gem that we left behind. And there's the last gem in Academy of Evil. So now we have 3 goals left to do, and they're essentially all in 3 different levels. So, the bingo goal on this level is fall into a hole below the slime. Partway through these classrooms are going through, there is going to be a library, and we are going to fall into a hole that's going to appear when we let the slime go past where we're standing. Shocked I got by that guy. Usually he would have spawned in there. we are at the library now, we're going to disable autosave on the off chance I screw this up, because this is one of those tricks you get one shot at. If you walk too far, this door will shut, but you can walk in there to trigger the slime to start rising, and still be in the hallway, which then the slime will just kind of rise up.
Fascinating.
And this will let you go to the bottom part of the library if you want, so I can like, drop down here, go all the way down here if I wanted to, and then fall into this hole into the void. Alright, so next we're going to go to rooftop, and we have to avoid ringing all of the bells. And that will be a tough one. Alright, I'm gonna set up. You can usually jump off his head to get to the next area a little bit quicker. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. This library has a lot of extra geometry in it, so you can move around ways that they weren't really expecting, like what I just did here. And with that long jump that I mentioned earlier, where I can get a little more distance, I can jump around this. You don't even need a long jump to jump around that one, actually. You can just jump around it normally. You can also jump up to the top of this one here. My camera's all funky though.
Now, while we are nearing the end of this bingo, I would like to take a moment to just bring to chat's attention that we do have a bid war right now for the file name choice for our upcoming Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer bingo. The current choice is Chaos at $50, but if somebody wanted to snipe that with a cheeky little donation of your own, you have, what would we say, 10-ish minutes?
I'd probably say closer to 15 until I'm done here.
15-ish minutes.
I'll go with an empty slot here. Safety save. Now, if I am going to soft lock during this run, it will be in this level. So, here you're supposed to jump, I guess, supposed to use an interesting word. You can jump on the corner of the door frame and it'll load the next area in, and you can just continue to skip through on the roof. Kind of what I am doing here. And now I'm going to try to click back and bounds. Trying to rush quickly to the end of the level. Why would you expect that not to work? If you type it in, you can then get yourself a Bingothon Winter. I heard they're great to drink out of.
I've heard that they're definitely not explosive.
I've heard that as well. Nobody's ever had one explode on them.
I've also heard that Bingothon mugs are very good for holding void drinks.
That is true.
So if I was to soft lock, it'd look kind of like this.
That's a theoretical, right?
Theoretical, right? And if I was to soft lock, I'd also reload the game kind of like this.
This is purely hypothetical.
Yeah, just to show you what a failed attempt at this level would look like. No, I have 2 hours and 10 minutes to fill. I'm gonna use the whole 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you got the time slot.
There are also like little things on the top of this hallway that stop you from being able to just slide everywhere on them. So I'm kind of getting caught in them occasionally. Next time I get to that section, I'm just gonna jump in and fight the enemies. Just because that last one is a little bit more difficult to do than the other two that I've done.
Very fair. I will say that the vibe of that section very much reminded me of Metroid Prime. I think it's both Prime 1 and Prime 2 speedrunning, where you just kind of get out of bounds and walk around on top of the hallways.
Yeah, if I wanted to never go in bounds in this section, I actually don't think I have to. Like, I can instead, like, clip out of bounds here instead of going back in bounds, and then walk across here and almost soft lock myself again. But I didn't. But I had to show that off because, you know, why would I want to go back in bounds? So, in these rooms, you're supposed to play as Cortex and shoot these frog things. And then once you kill enough of them, the door will open.
Why shoot when one can spin?
Yes. There we go. So, we're not on rooftop, so I can just hit the bells here. There is another goal for beating this level without the bells, but where I have no mask, I'm just gonna take it a little safer.
So the Twinsanity run has ended then?
No.
No.
I have 2 more goals to get. So this level has bells in it.
As in
And I
Twinsanity?
Twinsanity, not Twinsanity. I see.
oh
No more twist.
yeah, there's no more Crash anymore. We're not gonna see Crash for the rest of the run. So
Rip my mans.
yeah,
Pyro got his in the end.
there's a good chance you won't see Crash Bandicoot for the remainder of Bingothon Winter.
We will remember him as he lived, going Hoverless.
Tie it to something secure, I said. Hurry, Nina, or you'll miss the bus.
I mean, if someone donates to name one of the files Crash Bandicoot.
That is true. If you would like to donate to name our upcoming Ocarina of Time randomizer file Crash, we could see more Crash.
That is the only way we'll see more Crash Bandicoot. So if you want more Crash Bandicoot, consider donating. coming up on our first bell. So to get around these ones, you can just kind of jump around the outside. This is probably the hardest spell, because you need to kind of not get hit by him, first of all, but kind of need to hope that you latch on for the gargoyle there. Luckily I have 53 more tries at it. I think I can walk a little further along than I was thinking. No, I cannot.
Really hard to take the question. I'm going to drop below 50
We
lives.
almost
We
got
can have
that
to
one.
untick. Really hard to take the question. Before we drop below 50 lives, would you untick the 50 lives spots, or...
I mean, we can go back and sit in that cave again for another 10 minutes. Pick up more lives.
Might be butting up against our time limit, as we do only have 10 minutes remaining.
Oh, we'll finish in time then. And to think I thought I was going to finish early.
The best laid plans of mice and men and bandicoots, I think. Bandicoots are kind of like mice, right? I've never seen one.
Oh, they're rodent-like.
I think there might be marsupials.
They probably are. They're Australian, right?
Rodents?
They got pouches.
Oh.
Well, Google says they are marsupials.
Ah.
Although, who knows, back in the 1930s and they just counted anything like, nice, good enough. There's a marsupial flash anyway.
What is a marsupial but a mouse with flair? Don't answer that question. I know the answer.
Close to the end of this level without the number of bells that are left. So that's actually all the bells. I'll mark the goal once we get to the end of the level. But when we get to the end of this level, we will be fighting Amberly, and we gotta do it without glitches. And then we'll be done. Yeah, so we're just getting chased by a school bus, like, nothing unorthodox. I don't death abuse here, the game could crash. Alright, here we are at the end of this level. Is there anything that doesn't cause the game to crash? I mean, not really. If you boot up the game and you skip the first cutscene too fast, the game crashes. So, I mean, there is that.
Of course, there's nothing that causes the game not to crash. He's in the title.
You are in detention.
This fight takes about 3-ish minutes, so assuming I don't mess up, we'll be looking to finish around then.
I'm an evil scientist.
If you guys haven't already, consider donating.
To me, you'll always be a little verb.
Goes to a good cause.
Goes to a wonderful cause, in fact. And if you're looking to snipe that file name incentive, it's also worth noting that Delfino Customs has, as one of our prizes, submitted a console controller of your choice. So if you donate over $50, which you would need to beat that current Chaos file name, then you are entered for a chance to win a very snazzy, like very neat custom controller of your choice. So it's worth considering.
And there we go. Amberly is defeated, and that is a Blackout.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much, Atomical Sloths, for this very, very fascinating Crash Twinsanity Blackout Bingo. Do you have any final thoughts to share with us?
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. I feel like I was able to really show off how broken of a game this is, and I'm hoping that you guys had fun watching this Twinsanity Blackout. I'll be back tomorrow for Around the Clock at Bikini Bottom, which is a SpongeBob fan horror game. I believe that's the second to last run of the marathon, so be sure to tune in for that. There's also a donation incentive for that one if you'd like to see the profanity filter turned off, so if you want to hear Mr. Krabs say some choice words, then consider donating to that.
Alrighty, thank you so much. That is also going to be our time here as your hosts. I have been the King's Pride. It is my eternal honor to be hosting for y'all. I will be back tomorrow with Pippi in a top hat. And Flotsam, if you'd like to say any last words.
I have nothing other to say than this big Flotsam, and I am not going to be back, so see you probably in the next marathon.
All right, thank you all very much. We're gonna send you on, but do not worry. We will leave you in the very, very capable hands of Pollister. In the meantime, get up, get some hydration, get a stretch in, and we'll see you at the end after the break.
Fred Hutch Cancer Center and University of Washington bring together the largest group of prostate cancer researchers in the world, all united to try to diagnose this disease earlier and cure it.
One of the things that's becoming abundantly clear is that prostate cancer is not just one disease. If you dissect a tumor, one cell sitting next to a second cell might be very different in terms of the proteins on the cell surface, the molecular changes, the DNA of the cancer that makes it tick. And so trying to sort of fold all of that information into new treatment strategies is the challenge that we're faced with today.
So we in the prostate program have a three-pronged approach. One is to improve the diagnosis with earlier tests, to tailor treatments with a precise method with genomics, and then also to improve risk assessment and maybe even prevent prostate cancer.
And it's been extraordinarily exciting to see the changes that have happened over the years that I've been doing this. The field has advanced quite a bit.
Yeah, good.
Our team of researchers at the Fred Hutch Cancer Center are taking a team science approach. All these disciplines coming together to really speed up the pace of discovery, speed up the pace of new research, and hopefully speed up the pace of better care of our cancer patients. So we're improving diagnostics on a few different levels. One is blood tests and non-invasive tests, but we're also looking at diagnostics such as imaging.
Developing therapies that are low side effect profile but have the potential to suppress all the key resistance mechanisms, all the biology that drives that cancer cell is something that we're very optimistic about, and that's stuff we're working on every day.
So if we can understand or identify the risk of prostate cancer, then we can screen more attentively, we can get them on clinical trials, we can engage them, we can give them a reason to get tested.
Donor support is more important than ever right now because it does allow us to have greater research endeavors than we would have previously.
These are the types of funds that we use to really move forward high risk, high reward studies that are going to help us to understand where the field's going.
We hope 5 years from now we'll be able to diagnose patients earlier, and then not only that, when we treat them something precise just to them to cure their cancer. And with your help, we'll conquer this.
How much to make me do the cow in house goal? Regular,
Here's
right?
the deal. If we reach $1,500 until the end of the run, you're gonna be doing cow in house. Alright, I get a new donation here. You wanna read it, Paul, sir?
It is $14 from Pink Batman 12 saying, "Can't wait for CJ to check the house and the cow."
House and cow. Is that just what we started saying now?
I guess it is.
We just got a $35 donation from Silky Steve, who said, "Bingo! Time for house and cow. House and cow. House and cow. House and cow."
All right, we're off to the ranch. So I have to complete 2 laps of the obstacle course in 50 seconds, nonetheless. Don't know if that counted. No, it didn't work. It didn't count.
Oh, come on.
Off by frames.
That was so incredibly close. Fortunately, we do have to cut that there, though. We are out of time.
We did get bingo, at least, which is better than one of my practice runs did.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bingothon. Haha, you thought you got Pollister, you got me, but joke's on you a second time, because Pollister's here too. Hello, Pollister, how are you doing today?
Surprise, I'm here. Hi, everybody. Happy time zone. Hope you're all having a fantastic time. How are you, Charbunny?
I'm doing good. My time zone is 9:08 p.m., which is definitely still within my gamer hours, so we're doing great. I know yours is a little bit earlier on. Hopefully people are getting enough sleep. I know it's very tempting to watch literally every single bingo run during the entire event, but please make sure you're taking care of yourself. And for those of you who may just be joining in or just waking up, depending on your time zone, we are here at Bingothon Winter raising money for the Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center. And for those of you who are not familiar with their work, even beyond their research, Fred Hutch has a survivorship program aimed to help ensure that patients, their families, and their caregivers can live a high quality of life even beyond treatment, which is so incredible because so many of the different services people can receive, once they're done, you're kind of on your own. And cancer is kind of a big deal. It's a big life event. It takes a long time to recover from to get back to normal. So the fact that an organization like this takes the time to really make sure people have that success not only in the moment, but beyond that is incredible. And for my time zone, Fred Hutch is actually pretty nearby. For those of you who don't know, they have a big presence here in the Seattle area, which is in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. So it's really fantastic that we're raising money for what's basically right down the street from me. But they have that worldwide impact, which is what makes them so special.
Yeah, amazing stuff. So, of course, we're raising money for such a fantastic cause, so do get your donations in. You can use the donate panel underneath the stream or typing !donate in chat, and you'll get a nice little link to get your donations in. As we are setting up for our very next run, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Rando, we do have an incentive, and I will say this is maybe second to last, if not last call for that one, because it's the file name choice. And currently in the lead, it is Chaos on $50. So you can either support that, or you can put your money towards a secondary option. And if it's good enough, we might put it in. And there might be a little competition as to who's going to win. But that's up to you to decide. So get those donations in, and we can decide on a file name. Yes.
Exactly. I think maybe I'm holding on to earlier in today energy, but I kind of want to see Cow in-house, or I don't know how many characters you get. Maybe just Cow or just House as the file name. But you will need to donate quickly.
I just checked. It's an 8-character limit. So Cow House or House Cow would both be valid.
That is exactly the right number of characters. Chat, this is fate. Please donate now.
All right, I'll help you out,
donation
chat.
will snipe that. Oh, you're helping?
Yeah, here you go. Here's the command. Go donate.
Yay! Look at that teamwork. And of course, if you do donate enough to change that file name, that could get you in to win a console controller of your choice provided by Delfino Customs. That is a $50 minimum donation. They do some pretty incredible stuff here. I'm very excited to see all the different controllers they do. Obviously, as someone who plays video games, like I assume many people watching do, I don't know, I guess, Polster, do you play video games? Is that something you've done?
Nah, I'm just studying game design for the hell of it. No. No, but well, I tend to I dabble in the odd game or two every once in a while.
I see. Games
say
are
I'm a
pretty fun there. I'm gonna see if I can show some of the controllers that they have on their website. We'll see if I can get the dashboard to work. It's always a little bit of an adventure for me, but there we go. Like, they actually have an entire collection, a gallery of different images on their website of different controllers that you can see that they've worked on. So if, like, this is the sort of thing that they've got, it's just incredible to see what people do with just controllers. They're like mostly like an accessory for playing games, but they're kind of their own art form too in a way, which is really fun to see. Do you have like a favorite console or controller, memory of one you had when you were younger?
Oh man, I think it has to be like my first gaming experience. I was a young little kid, my first ever Christmas that I can consciously remember. My parents gifting me a PlayStation 2.
Ooh.
And with it, Sonic Heroes. So, yeah, I had quite the childhood.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
I love that.
It was fun. How about you?
I think for me, it might just be the classic purple GameCube controller. That might be the one for me that I just remember. That's what we got. That was the first one. I do remember we had a NES before then, but those controllers were not fun to hold on to. They were very rectangle, and rectangle is not my favorite ergonomic controller layout. But of course, it is a classic, and there's definitely a lot of classic controllers out there, so plenty of options to choose from. So yeah, $50 minimum donation gets you in to win a controller, console controller of your choice, and that is provided by one of our sponsors, Delfino Customs. So if you'd like to learn more about them, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Delfino Customs, for providing a console controller of your choice as a prize during this marathon. They provide custom controllers, modded 3DS systems, and more. And you can check them out at delfinocustoms.com.
Putting in an image there for people who like Smash. That's a nice controller right there.
Very nice. That was a good one. Like
that doesn't
one.
convince you to donate. I don't know what will.
Right. Oh my goodness. I know, I'm so impressed with how many donations have come in so far as well. Over $1,000. We are at $1,105 to be exact towards Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center. And I know that we've got some goals for later in the event. I think it's at some of those $1,000 milestones. Would you like to talk about those, or do you want me to cover them?
Yes, I can talk about those. Well, I don't see $1,000. I see $100 goals. Maybe if I refresh.
Oh, so there are some secret ones. Maybe they're not on the sheet. Maybe they're a little harder to find. But at $2,000, we would actually get a updated preview of a Bluey costume. So earlier today, or yesterday, depending on time zones, at $1,000, when we broke that $1,000 mark, we actually got a very small preview of what a Bluey costume might look like. And that would be for our second to last run of the event, coming up for me tomorrow. I'll be honest, I'm lost on what time zones everyone's in, but second to last run of the event. Now, that was only a brief snippet, just a little tiny taste, just a teensy tiny teaser. And if we get to $2,000, we might get to see the full costume reveal. But that's only one more stepping stone, because it will take us till $3,000 to actually unlock that Bluey costume cosplay for that run coming up much later in the event. That would be our skin up, one of our very last games in the event, Bluey the video game, coming up later. Now, I have heard a rumor that the costume is very difficult to see out of. So if you would like to add some chaos and challenge, that's definitely a number you want to keep in mind. But you're also right that we do have some other goals on the way there. Do you want to talk about some of those?
Yes, indeed. Well, I think, yes, here we are. After the file name choice for Ocarina of Time Rando, we do have a Pokemon bid war for choosing which game Rob will play. Your options are Crystal, Black, Emerald, and Red, with Crystal having $20 and Black having 15. Everything else yet to score. We also have the incentive for Drakengard 2, which is to increase difficulty tier of the bingo card. So I think I don't need to explain this one a lot. We need $100 for it, and so far we've raised $5. So with $95 more, we get some extra content, or rather, more difficult content. And I will also shout out this incentive, which is the last tier on this list, because the amount we need to hit amuses me. It's from Around the Clock at Bikini Bottom, and it's to disable the profanity filter with the description, because why not? The total we're looking for here is $69, and we have still yet to raise any of that. So keep those donations going, folks. Let's get all of that amazing extra content, and of course, all of that amazing money for Fred Hutch.
So wonderful. I love how many options there are. I'm curious what happens if we disable that filter, and I'm also really curious about the difficulty increase. I do have some information about that Pokemon bid war, though. We were talking with the runner earlier today, and rumor is that Pokemon Black, the runner isn't as familiar with. That's if you want to make the most chaos possible, really challenge the runner and make them go for something more difficult. Pokemon Crystal is the game they're more familiar with, and so if you want to see the top tier expert gameplay perfectly planned, that's the one you want to go for. So a little extra knowledge for you on that bid war that again will be coming up for our Pokemon run, which I think is pretty soon too. I mean, you know, in terms of hours, we'll have a little bit of time. But the Pokemon bid war run is coming up later today.
Yes, indeed. I can tell you it is at 11 a.m. today, so let's say about 5 hours from now. So if you want to check that out, it's going to be here. Yeah. So that is all very cool and good.
Cool and good. Another cool and good thing is we talked about the console choice, or not the console choice, the console controller choice. You could win your controller by donating. There are other prizes available as well. So for a $5 minimum donation, you'd be entered in to win a Bingothon sticker. It looks pretty adorable. I like it. Kind of a fun design. And for a $10 minimum donation, you also would get entered in to win a mug. And there's 2 different mug options available. Do you want to talk about the 2 mugs?
Yes, indeed. Well, first of all, we have the neutral design, which is for the more, well, it's the more basic design of Bingothons with the lovely Bingothon logo, and of course, enough room for your favorite beverage. We also have the wintry design, which, I mean, if you're seeing this stream, you can probably understand what this will look like. Both of those, once again, $10 minimum to enter the draw anytime during the event. So, if you're looking for a nice mug for your coffee or your hot chocolate or your tea, $10 and it could be yours. So, yeah.
Absolutely could be. And let's say that you're not so much the odds person. You just want that mug. You don't want anything left up to chance. The good news is Bingothon has a Teespring store where you can buy some cool merch, including the one, the only, the essential Bingothon mug, and more. You can find it at store.bingothon.com, accessible via _merch. That'll be in the chat. Revenue gained from the store would be used to further improve the marathon in many ways. Use the discount code WINTER24, WINTER24, to get 10% off whatever you buy. So if you want to take a look at that mug, you can go to the store and just, glance, see what's out there. And if you would like to definitively own a mug for your home, for your hands, for your tea, to be as cozy as humanly possible, you can also just go buy it off that store. 10% off now with that code. Thank you for typing that in chat, because I did not say it very cleanly. Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Maybe I do have
nice
some of the late night energy. Yeah, sorry?
Nice and to the point, just all the important bullet points. Here you go, here you go, chat. Helping everybody out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. And this is, it's such a cozy event. It's such a wonderful event. I want to talk more about Fred Hutch. How's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's one of those things where when you hear Fred Hutch, it's Fred Hutch Cancer Center. And so obviously cancer is something that they work on, they try to tackle, and we've talked a lot about that. But something else really cool about them is Fred Hutch is the home of the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration conducting clinical trials of HIV vaccines and treatments, which is a lot of words, but a really cool way of saying they're making a difference when it comes to HIV trials and treatments. And that's really awesome to see all the different ways that one charity can have that sort of impact, again, across the world. And speaking of worldwide accolades, researchers from Fred Hutch have won the Nobel Peace Prize in Physiology or Medicine 3 times in 1990, 2001, and 2004. Dr. E. Donald Thomas was awarded in 1990 for his work on the bone marrow and blood stem cell transplantation. Dr. Leland Hartwell was awarded in 2001 for discovering the universal mechanism that controls cell division in all eukaryotic or nucleated organisms. And finally, Dr. Linda Buck was awarded in 2004 for her work on odorant receptors and the organization of the olfactory system, the network responsible for our sense of smell. I love learning about all the wonderful things they do, and now I'm thinking about my nose. How about you?
I am now painfully aware of the position of my nose between my eyes. Yeah. So it's great.
It really is. And earlier we were learning as well that the work on bone marrow transplantation, they were the ones who made it. They invented that. Anyone who's gotten a bone marrow transplantation, either their doctor was trained at Fred Hutch or their doctor was trained by someone who was trained at Fred Hutch. So we think about like speedrunning and how strats get disseminated, right? Someone finds a strat and then everyone starts to learn it within the community. Fred Hutch found a new strat in cancer treatment. That's my speedrun version explaining all the work that they do over there, which is just so incredible.
That is a fantastic metaphor, if I do say so myself.
It's so much fun. And this has been a really interesting day for me because I've learned a lot about Bingothon. This is my first Bingothon. I guess, have you done Bingothon before? What's your Bingothon experience meter at?
I have exactly one other time as host, and then a third go as a runner. So,
ooh,
yeah, been here a few times, been around the block, and always a nice time, always chill, always cozy.
Do you have a favorite Bingothon memory over the years?
Favorite Bingothon memory? I mean, House in Cow is honestly quite a bit up there. Now that I was reminded of it by watching the clip during the intermission. It was
That's very true.
And now I need to go back and see how that donation actually spelled cow and house or house and cow, because was that me mispronouncing it, or yeah, we'll find out.
And for those of you who may just be joining in, again, you're watching Bingothon Winter, and we are currently setting up for our next run, which is going to be a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer. This is going to be CJ running that. It's going to be Overworld Chaos Bingo, which I think is going to be an absolute treat to see. And for those of you who haven't watched Bingo before, you can see an example of a bingo board on the left side of the screen. Essentially, there's a bunch of goals and you try to complete them. We as hosts have been trying to complete them throughout the marathon as well. It's been kind of a fun challenge for us to go through. But all of this is not just about the games and the fun and the bingo, although that's a great part. We're here raising money for a wonderful cause. Do you want to talk a little bit more about Fred Hutch and how much impact all of our donations have had over the years?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I can actually tell you a little bit about how the impact your donations have now. So, if you donate $5, you'll be able to supply 100 test tubes used by researchers. If you bump that up to $50, not only are you getting in the draw for the controller, wink wink, hint hint, nudge nudge, you also pay for 2 hours of a junior researcher's time to pursue a new cancer therapy. Move that up to $250, we're talking 5 $50 donations, and you enable researchers to see which genes are switched on in cancer. So all of your amazing donations are, well, no matter how big or small, they always have some sort of impact in helping with research. So thank you all so much for donating so far, and don't stop just yet, because we want to hit all those amazing milestones, and we want to see all that extra content, and also that bluey costume that's really hard to see through. Yeah.
We definitely do. ! Donate in the chat to get that link. But in the meantime, we're going to step away very briefly because we are almost ready for our next run. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.